this video, we look at how to configure your source code with the job and various settings and credentials around that. So this was a demo job that we created in the previous section, and here you see various options with respect to source code management, triggers, and other settings. You also have options to decide how to manage your previous builds or the old builds, whether you can link it to an existing GitHub project if you're using GitHub projects and repositories, and various other settings. Now, coming to the source code management, this is where you connect your repository, your job with a repository. So let me select Git, and in order to connect your job with Git, you need two things. You need the URL of your Git, which we generally use to clone, and also provide the credentials that is required for Jenkins to authenticate every time it tries to clone or download the code. So let me take one sample project. I have a sample code here, and I'll copy the URL, and so I'm configuring the repository URL to be my Git, git cli.git, and this is where I have to specify the credentials that Jenkins job has to use in order to authenticate. So these credentials are managed centrally by Jenkins, and we will look into how to a manage credentials section in a later part of this course. So here I'm basically adding a username and password as a global credentials, and I'm scoping it up to for across Jenkins and nodes. So I basically can give my username and password, and I can give a name to identify this as Git credentials, right? And then I do add. So here I'm basically selecting. Here then I can go ahead and select the. Let me do a refresh. Sometimes you may not see that changes reflected. So I'll copy the URL. I'll go here and go to Jenkins and give global and give name of the username and password. Name Git credit. Okay, and add. So once I add, I see that credentials here, and once you select these credentials, you will be able to. Jenkins will understand to pick up the credentials from here when we run the job. There are other settings where we can specify what are the branch you want to restrict this particular job to execute. Whether in this case, it basically we are specifying only the master branch to be built, and if you leave it blank, it will any branch it will go ahead and build. But in this case, it will only build your master or the main branch. So let me remove that so that it's completely blank and any branch I will be able to build. So this is one way to connect your job with with your Git source code management, and ensure you authenticate against your GitHub and